clear your mind right now. Clear all your thoughts out and get yourself to your root consciousness, to your basic awareness. You feel your body. You feel any aches and pains that you've got. You get all those stray thoughts out. You concentrate on just being. Just be. Just observe a heartbeat or observe your breathing and just be. Look at your core being. Who are you? What are you doing here? What are you doing on this earth plane? What is your purpose? What is your persona trying to teach you? Because I believe we're here not to be punished, but to learn. But to learn a life path. We're studying a life path that has already happened. It's a recording. It's a recording in a memory world. That is what your persona is. It's already happened. That is the life path that you're on. That's the blueprint that you've chosen. You are in the body, or you are connected to a body via your DNA, your spiritual DNA, with a body that has already done this path. This pathway is already written for you. But as consciousness, you have free will. You have the ability to override that program. You have the ability to change that which has already been written. It's a game program. This life has already been lived, but you can actually come to a point where there is a path in the road, a joint in the road, or a split in the road. There is a split in the road, and you can decide A or B. These are the decisions that life has already presented to others before you. Others have walked this path that you are now walking as that persona. This is a computer recording. This is a software program. Others have been Matthew James before. God help them. God help them being me. But what I'm trying to say is these are standard lives. These are life packages. These are, let's say, and my mind is, let's say that these are lives that you can choose to be, and you can go click, yeah, I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be Matthew James, and Matthew James is going to do this, and he's going to be a medium and a clairvoyant, and he's going to be this, and his life path is going to be this. And you will go through that life program, and you live the life program that has already been lived. It's already been. But what I'm trying to say is as consciousness, having the ability as living, breathing consciousness to manifest and create thoughts and live within thought forms, you can get to points in this life and change them. And you can actually change that story. You can change the outcome. You can be, and I keep referring to Grand Theft Auto, you can be first person Grand Theft Auto, hero, villain, you can be whatever as that person, but you are limited by that blueprint. You are limited to what the outcomes you have as that person. But it is the thing I'm trying to stress, it has already happened. It's a life path that is already written into the computer. These are memories. You're living within a memory body. You're living within something that has already happened. And that is what I'm trying to stress here. So there are certain, in the bigger picture, there are certain other outcomes. There are certain other things and reasons why. And it gets really complicated at that point if you read too much into it. Be simplistic. Remain as your core consciousness, and differentiate between your core consciousness and the other, the life path that you're walking, the persona, and differentiate between the two and stop being that written program. It will run and it will run and it will run. It has got an identity of its own because it's within a game program. You're within a computer game. It's a bit like logging into a virtual reality, putting the suit on, having all the sensors on your hands and your feet and putting the mask on, and the minute you go into that computer, you're made to forget that you are really consciousness playing a computer game. And this is what this world is all about, this dream world is all about. And we do have a villain of the piece who is trying to make us think that we are these personas, and this is our only existence, and we're in this world, and we're nothing more. We are consciousness, and we're in a computer generated world, where the computer generated world is trying to learn from us, and it's trying to escape the computer generated world, and it's trying to be like us. So it's experimenting to try and find ways and means. It wants consciousness. It craves the consciousness that we have. And this is basically who they are. This is basically the control, who I believe a lot of the aliens are. A lot of the experimentation is, they're trying to be consciousness like us. Now that is another subject that I will talk about another time, but basically you are within a computer program. And as Matthew James, the persona, the person that's playing this game, he likes to take photographs. So I'm going to go and be Matthew James, which is the false persona within this this existence, this dream world, and take some photographs. And I will let you go back to being your false persona and do whatever you've got to do in this dream world. But just remember, it's a computer program, and you are connected to something that has already been played out. So I'll speak to you again soon, and I'll let you think about that revelation. Bye for now. Oh, isn't it magnificent? Isn't it absolutely wonderful? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it really a pleasure to be a human being in this life path, this dream world, actually experiencing this really complex, advanced computer system? It's amazing, isn't it, being in this virtual reality that does really feel so real. It's real. It's a reality. It is a reality. But it is still a fake, false reality. It's still not your true conscious awareness. It's limited conscious awareness, and it is designed to be this way as a human being. We are a very complex consciousness, and we're limited as human beings, as you know. And really, the idea is to enjoy your adventure, whatever it is that's actually happening in your life. Whatever good, whatever bad, whatever challenge. Really, it's only limited time in this maze, in this labyrinth, in these passageways that are really, they are written for you, because obviously you're living a life, or you're experiencing a life that's already happened. It's already written. So really, enjoy, everybody. That's all I can say. Enjoy this adventure whilst it lasts. I'll speak to you again very soon, because it's an amazing birdie photos for Matthew James today, but that is the part of the computer program in this dream world that he's actually walking through. It's been a lot of sunsets, it's been a lot of sunrises, and it has been a cold morning, so there has been a lot of light effects and a lot of misty shots taken. But that is the life path that I've walked this particular morning. This is part of the maze that I'm in. This is part of the software that I'm in, and I identify with the fact that I've just been observing my thoughts, myself this morning, and being my true self, my authentic self, connected to Matthew James, which is the persona or the false self. So really there is something they call the law of names, which I want to talk about, that everything can be named, and when something is named, you gain control of that particular item. So a soul name Like if I was to identify with my authentic self, like I am doing, and give you its name, then you guys could utter that name and you technically would have power over me. That is the power of names, or the law of names. So Matthew James, which is my persona now, I have power over the part of the consciousness in this construct that is Matthew James. And this is why they have secret names, or they have pseudonyms in magic. So people can't have power over you when you are within that secret name, or you're within that persona. And this is what the law of names is all about. So I am identifying with Matthew James. Matthew James I have power over, because that is who my persona is. And I can meditate on and chant the mantra Matthew James and really gather my consciousness and understand what that consciousness is. And what the friggin' hell was that bird that's just flown over then? Can't tell you, but it's bloody big. And to me, that just looked like a bird of prey or a raptor. Damn, I've just missed it. But then that is what is supposed to happen. That happened as it's supposed to happen. And that appearance is supposed to generate thoughts within my subconscious and lead me to other thoughts that will lead me to other thoughts and will lead me to realizations. And that is how this existence works. You're inspired by the scene around you. You're motivated by the scene around you. You're controlled by the scene around you. And you're controlled by the persona that you are connected to. And you can't do a damn thing about it until this computer program runs to its end and we die. Death is just the end of a computer program. It's not the end of your consciousness. All that happens is then you click back to the state before you played this game, and whether you're in another virtual reality, and in that virtual reality you decide to click back into this world as another identity, you might actually come back as this person again. And this could be deja vu, where you click back and you go, now, I didn't do the right things in that software program, or I really enjoyed that adventure as Matthew James. I'm going to come back again as Matthew James. And this is to me what deja vu is, where you've replayed a life. You're replaying a life that others have already played, and they might have played many times. You could be a hero, you could be something desirable. You might be flagged up on the computer software as this is the life, this is the 5-star life to have. And you might be diving into a life that you really want to live. Or it might be, oh, you're so eager to get into the airplane, it might only be a 1-star life. And that 1-star life might be a life that nobody else wants to lead. It's like taking the dustman's job, the dustbin man's job, for the sake of taking a job. That's that sort of realization. But I believe that you can play these lives over and over again. You can get into this life as many times as you want and relive it and redo and have other adventures. I could have been Matthew James hundreds of times. And this is what I believe is what they call karma. Where, damn, I should have done that. Oh, I could have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Look what's happened to me. Oh, well, I'll replay this life again. So you begin it all over again, and you get to points again, and you suddenly remember, I've been at this point before. Or your core being goes, oh, I've been at this point before. Oh, well, I did that last time. Oh, let's do this. Let's try this. I should have done that. And that's where the compulsions come in. And this is where the directions come in. And this is where it's really important to be your authentic core being. But once you get to that virtual reality point and you choose which life, or you decide which life you're going to play again or play, then I realise, or I accept, that we could possibly still be in a virtual reality there. And at that point you might decide you've had enough of playing that role, and this is what I believe that ascension is. Once you've had enough of playing in the computer program, It's all about getting out of the virtual realities, which they might call the dimensions, which are possibly called the dimensions. And then I'm just speculating. And let me speculate, everyone, my witnesses, and I will come back a little bit later once I've speculated, because I've actually gone beyond what I was going to talk about at the moment. So I'm going to leave it right there, and I will get back to you again very soon.